The city was burning behind her. Explosions shook the ground as Alina ran through the crumbling streets, her bare feet pounding against the cracked stone. She was out of breath, heart racing, but she didn't stop. The air was filled with smoke, screams, and the loud roar of the machines that hunted her, kind the Xer, had come without warning. They called themselves peacekeepers.
Aye.
But Alina knew better. They had already wiped out 2 other colonies. Her home was just another target. She had tried to warn the council, but they refused to believe her. Now it was too late. Ahead of her, hidden behind a broken tower, was the last hope, an old portal stone buried in the ruins. No one had used it for centuries. Some said it was broken. Others said it led to nowhere. Alina didn't care. She had no other choice. If she stayed, she would be captured. Or worse. She reached the portal, a tall arch made of black stone, covered in glowing blue lines. Her hand shook as she pulled the energy crystal from the pouch around her neck. It was warm, still working. She placed it into the slot on the portal's side. Nothing happened. Her chest tightened. Footsteps echoed behind her. The Xer soldiers were getting close. She tried again, pressing her hand harder against the runes. A loud hum filled the air. The arch lit up. The center shimmered, turning into a swirling light. She didn't think, she just stepped through. The world spun. Her skin tingled. Light filled her eyes. For a moment, there was nothing but heat and noise and a feeling like falling. And then she was on soft grass. Na fell to her knees, gasping. It was quiet. The smell of smoke was gone, replaced by cool air and the scent of trees. She looked up and saw a forest around her. Tall green trees, birds in the sky, and sunlight through the leaves. Then a voice shouted, "Hey, whoa! Are you okay?" A man stood nearby, holding a weapon. He wore strange armor, light brown, with a green patch on the arm. His face was surprised, not angry. Duffed. He quickly dropped his weapon and ran over, pulling off his jacket and placing it over her shoulders without touching her directly. "You're safe," he said gently. "It's okay, you're safe now." Alina stared at him, confused. She didn't know the language, but something in his voice felt kind. She held the jacket close. Her body was shaking, not just from the cold, but from everything she had seen. "My name's Nate," the human said slowly, pointing to himself. "Nate." She blinked. Alina?" she whispered. Nate smiled. "Alina? Okay, don't worry. We'll take care of you." He pulled a small device from his belt and spoke into it. "Command, this is Ranger Team 3 I found. Someone. Female. Alien, not hostile. She just came out of some kind of portal. Requesting evac now." While he waited for a reply, Nate stayed by her side. He didn't ask questions. He didn't stare. He just made sure she was warm and safe. Alina didn't understand most of his words, but she understood one thing: he wasn't going to hurt her. Soon a small craft landed nearby. 2 other humans stepped out. One was a woman with short hair, the other a tall man with calm eyes. Both looked surprised when they saw Alina, but they didn't act afraid or angry. The woman gave her a blanket and offered water. They took her to a larger place. Field base surrounded by metal walls and human machines. Alina sat inside a soft room, wrapped in clothes too big for her. Machines beeped softly around her. Doctors scanned her with gentle lights. The human woman stayed with her the whole time, offering warm soup and slow words. Later, Nate returned. He sat across from her, holding a small tablet. "This," he said, showing the screen, "is a translator. It will help us talk." The machine buzzed. Then a calm voice spoke in her language. "We are not your enemies. You are safe." Alina looked at the screen, then back at Nate. Her throat was dry. "This place. Where am I?" "You are on Earth's Forest Moon base," the translator said in Nate's voice. "This is a human-controlled world. We've received no warning of your arrival. Are you hurt?" She shook her head slowly. "I escaped. The Xer, they attacked my city. They're chasing me. I had nowhere else to go." Nate leaned forward. "Sir, they've been quiet for months. We thought they were hiding." Lena's voice broke. They're not hiding. They're growing. And they want something I have. Shh. She pulled a small crystal from under her shirt. It glowed faintly. Nate narrowed his eyes. What is that? It holds knowledge from the builders, my ancestors. Ancient tech. The Xer think it can unlock weapons. I don't know if it's true, but they're willing. To destroy everything to get it? Nate nodded slowly. Then you're not just a refugee. You're carrying something very important. I don't want war, she whispered. I just want to live. Nate looked at her with a calm, serious face. We don't start wars, but we don't run from them either. You came to the right place. Outside the base, a sensor beeped. Unknown energy readings flashed across a screen far in space. A Xer scout ship picked up the portal trace. They had found her, and they were coming. Nate stood on the platform above the base, watching the skies. The clouds were peaceful, soft and white, but his thoughts were not. His eyes kept glancing at the alert screen beside him. The base sensors were still picking up strange energy, weak, but steady. The same kind of energy that came from the portal Alina had used. He didn't like it inside the medical room. Alina sat quietly, holding the crystal in her hands. It had cooled now, no longer glowing. She looked tired, her eyes showing both fear and confusion. Even with the clothes and food given to her, she didn't feel safe. She kept looking over her shoulder, as if something would break through the wall at any moment. Nate walked in slowly. She looked up and gave a small nod. How are you feeling? He asked, letting the translator speak for him again. Better, but still scared, she said softly. I've never seen a place like this. Your world is calm, only on the surface, Nate said. You said the Xer are chasing you. We picked up a signal. Something might be following the same path. You took. Alina's fingers gripped the crystal tighter. Then I brought danger to your world. No, he said firmly. You brought a warning. She looked down. They'll come for this. She held up the crystal. It has old data things from the Builder era. I don't know how to use it. I just knew I had to protect it. My father gave it to me before the Xer destroyed our home. Nate nodded slowly. You don't need to know how to use it. We have tech experts. We'll help you. She looked up, surprised. You're not afraid of the Xer? He gave a dry chuckle. Humans are from a death world. We're used to hard fights. Death world, she repeated. Nate smiled. Our home is dangerous storms. Wild animals, volcanoes. We survived by being smart and stubborn. Alina's eyes softened. Your people are brave. A voice came through Nate's cum. Sir, Scout Team Delta found wreckage near Sector 5. Looks like a small exert drone. Nate stood quickly. Thank you, stay alert. He turned to Alina. They're here. Her face went pale. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't blame yourself, he said. If they're hunting you, we need to stop them before they bring more. Nate took her to the command room, where screens showed the forest around the base. One camera showed twisted metal from the fallen Xer drone. Tech teams were already scanning it. A human officer named Lena walked over. The drone was searching for something. Maybe her. Nate nodded. We'll send more. What about her crystal? Lena asked. She says it holds builder data. We should take it to Central Command for analysis, Nate replied. Alina watched them talk and realized something. Humans were different from her people. They didn't freeze. They didn't argue. They moved fast, planned quickly, and faced danger together. Later that day, Nate brought her to the hangar. A small human transport ship waited there, already powered. Up. We're going to move you to a safer place, Nate said. The crystal, too. Central Command has better security. Will you come with me? She asked. Yes, he answered. You're not going alone. Inside the ship, the lights were dim and the engines hummed gently. Alina sat near the window, watching the forest shrink below them as they flew. Nate sat across from her, holding a datapad. You know, he said, when you came through that portal, I didn't expect someone like you. Someone like me. She tilted her head. You were scared alone, and still strong enough to carry something dangerous just to keep it away from the wrong hands. She gave a small smile. I didn't feel strong. I just ran. Sometimes running is the smartest thing, Nate said. Their ship moved toward the mountains. Hidden beneath them was the Central Command, an underground facility built to handle higher-risk threats. As the ship landed, soldiers greeted them and guided them inside. Alina looked around in awe. Everything was brighter, more advanced than the forest base. People walked with purpose. Machines scanned the air. Screens blinked with data from all over the galaxy. Nate introduced her to a man named Commander Ron. He was older, with gray hair and sharp eyes. He looked serious, but not unkind. "So this is the girl with the crystal," Ron said. "Welcome." "Thank you," Alina said politely. "We've already seen the Xer trying to track your energy signal. They're close, but we'll hold them off. Your crystal might help us defend more than just you." Alina stepped forward and handed the crystal to him. "Please, use it to stop them. Don't let them do to others what they did to my people." Ron nodded. "We'll do our best." While tech teams worked on decoding the crystal, Nate stayed. With Alina showing her around the facility, she saw gardens underground, a library with knowledge from across planets, and even a training hall where soldiers practiced fighting together. She was quiet most of the time, taking everything in. This place was full of strength. Not just weapons, but heart. That night, she stood on the balcony of her guest quarters looking at the stars. Nate joined her. "I never thought I'd see this sky," she said. "You're safe now," she turned to him. "But for how long?" "They're coming. They always come." Nate looked at her seriously. "Then we'll be ready. Humans don't run either." She watched his face in the soft light. He wasn't just a soldier. He was someone who cared, someone who listened, someone who didn't look at her like a burden, but like a person worth protecting. Deep underground, the tech team shouted with excitement. The crystal had opened, a map lit up, a network of ancient builder stations, forgotten weapons, and hidden defenses. Alina's eyes widened when she saw it. "That's my ancestors' legacy." Nate looked at her, and let's make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Above them, far beyond the atmosphere, more exoships began entering the system. The real war hadn't even begun. The lights inside the control room flickered as the data from Alina's crystal flowed across the screens. Human engineers and scientists stared in silence. Glowing symbols, star maps, and blueprints filled every display. Commander Ron stood. At the center, his arms crossed, jaw tight. "Are we sure this is real?" one of the techs asked. "We checked it 3 times, said another. "These are builder stations, old ones. Powerful, still hidden. And some of these, they're weapons." "Builder tech," Ron said. "We've only seen pieces before. This could change everything." In the back of the room, Alina and Nate stood side by side. She looked pale, eyes locked on the screen, showing her home world, now marked with a red X. Nate could feel the weight in her silence. "You okay?" he asked quietly. She shook her head. This was our future. Why people protected this knowledge for generations. Thought it was lost. "You didn't lose it," he said. "Brought it back." Ron turned to them. "We don't have much time. Based on what we've seen, the Xer will want this map badly. And now that the crystal's active, they can probably trace the signal more clearly." "What's the plan?" Nate asked. "We send teams to the builder sites. Secure them. Protect them. Maybe use them. We've already detected exoships near one of the closest stations." "Then we'll go," Nate said without hesitation. "You'll take Alina with you," Ron added. "She might be the only one." "Who can activate the tech at those sites?" Alina blinked. "Me. You carry the builder bloodline," Ron said. "Your genetic code might be the key." Nate looked at her. "You don't have to if you're not ready." She straightened her back. "I didn't come this far to hide." Within hours, a small strike team was ready, Nate, Alina, to techs. And for soldiers. Their ship, the Horizon Scout, was light and fast. Its mission, reach a nearby builder site located on a lifeless desert moon before the Xer did. As the ship took off, Alina stared out the window. I had never left her world. Like this, never seen the stars this way. It was beautiful and cold. Every star felt like a memory of something lost. Inside the ship, the mood was tense. The soldiers ran checks on weapons and gear. The techs whispered over data screens. Nate sat beside Alina, noticing her hand shaking slightly. "You sure you're okay?" he asked again. "I'm not brave like you," she admitted softly. He smiled. "Bravery doesn't mean you're not scared. It just means you keep going anyway." Her eyes met his. "Then I'll keep going." When they reached the desert moon, the surface was dry and cracked like old bones. Dust storms blew across wide valleys, but the builder's site stood untouched, a black pyramid half buried in sand, glowing faintly under the stars. "This is it," one of the techs said. "Signal matches perfectly." Nate and the team moved quickly, setting up a perimeter. Alina walked toward the pyramid slowly, her heart pounding. As she stepped closer, symbols on the wall began to glow. "She's activating it." Someone said through the com.alyn, placed her hand on the smooth surface. A low hum filled the air. Then a hidden door opened. They entered carefully, flashlights. Cutting through the dark, the inside was wide, with smooth walls and a tall central pillar, glowing blue. The air felt heavy, like something ancient was watching. "This is a control station," the tech whispered. "Maybe even a weapon." Before anyone could respond, an alarm beeped. Exer ship detected high orbit. Came a voice from the ship. Nate's expression hardened. "They're here." He turned to the soldiers. "Defensive positions. Decks. Back to the ship, Alina. Stay with me." "I can help," she said quickly. "I know," he said. "Just stay close." The Exer dropship descended fast, landing near the pyramid. Dark shapes moved quickly, shining armor and strange rifles in their hands. The fight began instantly. Human soldiers returned fire, using the builder walls as cover. Nate took down 2 Exer soldiers, then turned to Alina. "Can you power this place up? Use it against them?" She rushed back to the glowing pillar. Her hands hovered over it, fingers, trying to follow the patterns. Her mind filled with memories, old stories, old songs from her people. Builder Tech responded to thought, emotion, connection. "Please," she whispered. "Protect us." The pillar pulsed. Lights shot out across the walls. Outside, a shield burst up around the pyramid, blocking enemy fire. The XR troops fell back, confused. Human soldiers cheered. It worked. One tech shouted. Nate ran too. "Alina, you did it." But her eyes were still closed, her hands glowing faintly. The pillar showed an image of another station, bigger, stronger, and also under threat. "There's more," she said. "We're going to the next site too." Nate frowned. "Then we have to stop them." They held the builder station until backup arrived. Human ships forced the Exer vessel to retreat. The site was secure for now. Back on the ship, Lena sat with Nate in silence. "I was afraid I'd mess it up," she said. "You didn't," he replied. "You just saved all of us." "I think the builder tech, it knows me," she said. "Or maybe it feels what I feel." "Then we're lucky you came through that portal," Nate said. She smiled slightly. "I didn't expect to meet someone like you." He looked at her with calm eyes. "Me neither." Horizon Scout turned toward the stars again. They had more stations to find, more Exer to fight, and more secrets to uncover. But now they weren't running. They were fighting back together. The Horizon Scout flew through the darkness of space. Inside the ship, the crew rested after the hard battle on the desert moon. The lights were dim, the engines hummed quietly, and for a short moment, there was peace. But Alina couldn't sleep. She stood near the window, staring at the stars. Her fingers touched the cold glass. Her thoughts were heavy. The builder tech had reacted to Hurricane, the way it had protected them, the way the symbols lit up. It was more than just old machines. Felt alive. Nate walked over, carrying 2 cups of hot liquid. "You're awake too," he said. She nodded. "I keep seeing them. The Exer. They're not going to stop." "No, they're not," Nate said. "But now we know how to fight them." He handed her a cup. It smelled sweet and calming. "Thank you," she said. They drank quietly for a few moments. The stars outside seemed to move slowly, as if time itself had slowed down with them. "There's something strange about all this," Alina whispered. "The builder tech isn't just reacting to me, it's remembering, like it knows what's coming." Nate looked at her. "You think it's warning us?" "Maybe." The second station. It showed us another site. One that's more important. "Bigger?" "Then we go there next," he said. "We'll get there before the Xer." She looked at him. "How can you be so sure?" Nate gave a small smile. "Because we don't leave things unfinished, not when lives are on the line." The ship reached Central Command the next morning. The moment they landed, Ron and the other officers were waiting. News had already spread Alina had activated a builder station, and the Xer had attacked again. Inside the war room, the atmosphere was tense. Screens showed the next builder site located deep inside a rocky asteroid belt. A perfect hiding place, but also dangerous to reach. "We believe the Xer are already heading there," Ron said. "We've picked up energy trails matching their ship class." "We'll need stronger ships to get through that belt," Nate said. "Scout ships can't survive heavy fire or rock collisions." "We're assembling a small fleet now," Ron replied. "We want you and Alina to lead the mission again." Alina was quiet. "What if the next station doesn't respond the same way? What if I can't protect anyone?" Ron spoke calmly. "You're not alone anymore. You don't have to carry this by yourself." Alina looked at Nate. He nodded. "We'll figure it out." 2 days later, the fleet launched. 5 human ships, strong and fast, each equipped with new shields based on the data from the first builder station. They flew in a tight formation. Ready to cut through the belt, Ailne and Nate were aboard the lead ship, the Silver Hawk. It was larger than the Horizon Scout, with stronger weapons and better armor. But Alina didn't feel any safer. The asteroid belt was rough. Chunks of rock flew past them at high speed. The ship's shields flickered, absorbing hits. The crew worked fast, dodging the biggest ones. Suddenly the alarm blared. "Xer ships detected. Closing fast," shouted the pilot. Nate stood up. "Battle stations." The screen lit up with red dots. Xer fighters moved like shadows through the rocks, firing energy blasts. The Silver Hawk shook as it took the first hit. "Return fire." Nate yelled, "Keep them off our backs." The ship's guns roared. Other human ships joined in. The battle began, fierce and chaotic. In the middle of it all, Alina felt something strange. Her body became warm. Her mind pulled. She grabbed the edge of the console. "I feel something," she whispered. "The builder site. It's calling." Nate turned. "You feel the station?" She nodded. "It's close, just beyond those rocks." Nate spoke into his com. "Pilot, change course. Follow Alina's direction." They weaved through the asteroid field. Their ships chased them, but human gunners held them back. Finally, they reached a clearing and saw it. A large station, shaped like a giant ring, floating between 3 massive rocks. Builder markings glowed across its surface. "We found it," Nate said. The ship docked quickly. Nate, Alina, and a team of guards entered the station. The halls were silent. Dust floated in the air. Glowing lines lit up as Alina walked. Reached the core, a massive chamber with a black sphere floating in the center. Alina stepped forward. "This is it," she said softly. She placed her hand on the sphere. A beam of light shot up. Symbols spun through the air. Then a map appeared, not of builder stations, but of the galaxy. Hundreds of red points lit up. "What are those?" Nate asked. "Xer," Alina whispered. This is their entire network. All their hidden bases, everything." Nate's eyes widened. "You just found their war plan." The team back on the ship received the data and quickly sent it to command. For the first time, humanity saw the full picture of what they were facing. But then, another sound echoed through the station. Clang, the guards turned. The Xer had landed. "They're here," Nate said. "We hold this place, no matter what." The soldiers moved into position. Alina stayed behind the core, still trying to unlock more data. Shots rang out. Energy blasts lit up the dark halls. Nate fought at the front, keeping the Xer from reaching her. "We're not giving this up," he shouted. The Xer leader stepped forward, taller than the others. Wearing sharp armor. "Give us the girl and the data," it growled, "or you die." Nate stepped between him and Alina. "You'll have to go through me." The Xer charged. Nate met him head-on. Behind them, Alina activated a final command. Builder defenses woke up. Walls shifted. Metal arms unfolded. Energy beams struck the Xer soldiers, forcing them to fall back. The station protected itself. When the dust cleared, the Xer were gone. The team was injured but alive. Alina looked around. "We did it." Nate nodded, breathing hard. "And we just gave humanity a fighting chance." Above them, the galaxy changed. The station was quiet again. The walls no longer glowed, and the builder defenses had returned to sleep. Outside, the human fleet circled the asteroid field, watching for any sign of the Xer. But after the failed attack, the enemy had pulled back. Inside the central chamber, Alina stood near the black sphere, her hands still warm from touching the ancient tech. She felt both powerful and tired. So much energy had moved through her during the activation. And yet she knew this was just the beginning. Nate stepped beside her, a light bruise on his jaw, but a calm look in his eyes. "You all right?" he asked gently. She nodded, just overwhelmed. This station had everything. Their bases, their shipyards, even some of their future plans. This was their secret. "And now it's ours," Nate said. "We're sending the data back to Earth. Every human fleet is getting ready." She looked down. "It's strange. My people protected this knowledge for so long. And now, it belongs to others." Nate placed a hand near hers. "We're not here to steal it. We're here to protect it and protect you." She gave him a tired smile. "I believe you." Commander Ron's voice came through the comm. "We received the data. Every base marked is now under watch. We're moving fast." "Alina, you did more for us than we ever expected," she answered softly. "This isn't just about humans. If the Xer win, they'll destroy every world they touch," Ron agreed. "Then we hit first. Now, the next move is ours, within a day." The Silver Hawk returned to Central Command. The mood was different now. People moved with purpose. Screens displayed large battle plans. Fleets were preparing to strike Xer bases across multiple systems. Alina walked through the halls, watching it all. Many humans now looked at her with respect. She wasn't just a strange girl who came through a portal. She was a key to survival. Nate led her to a quiet garden inside the base. It was a dome filled with real plants, clean air, and sunlight from a fake sky. It was peaceful. "I come here when things get too loud," he said. She breathed deeply. "It's beautiful, soft. It reminds me of the forest near my home." They sat under a tree. Birds sang softly above them. "You've seen so much loss," he said after a while. "I have," she whispered. "But this gives me hope." "Then keep holding on to it," Nate said. A call came through. The first human strike had begun. A small Xer factory on a distant moon was taken out with no human losses. Other teams were moving fast, but then came news no one expected. "Commander Ron, this is Fleet Gamma. We found something strange. An unmarked station. It's builder design, not in the map Alina gave us, and it's active." Ron's voice was sharp. "Send coordinates." "Will. Send a team." He turned to Nate and Alina. "You're going again?" "Of course," Nate said without pause. Enna hesitated. "Why wasn't it in the map?" "Maybe even the builders kept secrets from themselves," Ron replied. "Or maybe this one was never meant to be found. The new location was in dark, so no stars, no light, just an empty space between two systems." When the Silver Hawk reached it, they saw a strange sight. A black cube-shaped station. Floating silently, no lights, no markings. Just stillness. "This gives me a bad feeling," one of the soldiers whispered. Nate looked at Alina. "Anything?" She shook her head. "It's like it's asleep. Or hiding." They boarded carefully. The inside was cold, unlike the other. Stations, this one felt wrong. The walls were smooth but lifeless. No soft lights, no glowing runes. But as Alina stepped in, a sudden wave of pain hit her. She grabbed her head and fell to her knees. Nate rushed to her. "Alina," she gasped. "This place, it's not just builder tech. It's been changed. Twisted." The walls lit up suddenly, not blue but red. Alarms started blaring. "It's a trap," someone shouted. The door slammed shut behind them. Screens came alive, showing Xer symbols. Voice filled the air. "Not human, not builder. Something cold. You followed the map. Now you've come to your end." The Xer had found a builder station long ago and turned it into a weapon. The station powered up, charging energy cannons. "We have to get out of here," Nate said. "Can you override it?" Lina forced herself to stand. "I can try." "It's fighting back." Nate covered her while the team defended the entrance. Energy blasts hit the walls outside. Surf ships were waiting in the dark, ready to strike. Nay reached the core of the station. Her hands moved quickly, calling on every memory, every feeling, every instinct. She touched the central pillar. The red lights flickered. For a moment, blue shined through. "Almost there," she whispered. Nate's voice came through. "We can't hold much longer." "Just a second more," she screamed as the system shocked her, but she didn't let go. She focused harder. "We're made to protect life, not destroy it." She said to the machine. The lights turned blue, the weapons powered down, the doors unlocked. "Go now." Nate shouted. The team ran back to the ship. The Silver Hawk launched just as the Xer fleet opened fire. But instead of breaking, the station turned. Its own weapons fired back, one by one. The Xer ships were destroyed by the very machine they had. Twisted, when it was over, only silence remained. Back on the ship, Lina collapsed into Nate's arms, exhausted. "You saved us," he said, holding her steady. She looked up, eyes half closed. "No, we saved each other. The danger wasn't over," but the Xer had lost one of their secret weapons. And now, humanity knew. There were more secrets still hidden across the stars. The Silver Hawk flew quietly through space. Stars passed slowly outside its windows. And inside, the crew remained silent. The mission had ended, but none of them could forget the trap they had walked into. The Xer had turned a builder station into a weapon. And if there was one, there could be more. In the medical room, Alina rested on a bed, wrapped in warm blankets. Her body was weak, but her mind was still awake. She had fought the builder tech from within, turning it back to its true purpose: protection. No one else on the ship could have done what she did. Nate sat beside her, watching her face. He had barely left her side since they escaped. After a long silence, her eyes opened. "You stayed?" she whispered. "Always," he replied softly. She tried to sit up, and he helped her gently. She looked around. "Are we safe?" "For now," Nate said. "We're heading back to Central Command." "You saved us again, Alina. You saved the galaxy from a weapon the Xer would have used to destroy whole systems." She nodded slowly. "But they'll come again. Stronger. Angrier." "We'll be ready," Nate said. "And this time, we have more than hope. We have information, and we have you." By the time they reached Central Command, the station was buzzing. News of their survival in the turned builder station had already spread. Other teams had started checking all known builder sites to make sure the Xer hadn't twisted more of them. Commander Ron welcomed them back with a firm nod. "You've done more than anyone could have asked," he said to Alina. "Your name is being spoken across human colonies and beyond." Alina stood beside Nate, still weak, but holding herself tall. "This isn't about me. It's about stopping them before it's too late." Ron agreed. "Which is why we're inviting you to speak before the Galactic Council. They need to hear the truth from you." Alina froze. "Me?" "Yes," Ron said. "Your story? Your connection to the builder tech, your warning it, could unite more than just humans. Other species still doubt the threat the Xer pose. But if they see you, hear what happened, they might join us." Nate looked at her with steady eyes. "You're not alone. I'll be there." After a short rest, Alina and Nate traveled to the Council Planet. It was a world covered in shining towers and open skies. Thousands of voices spoke hundreds of languages, and representatives from every known species gathered in one massive hall. When Alina stepped onto the stage, the room fell quiet. She spoke with help from a translator, but her voice was calm and clear. She told them about her home, about the Exer attack, about the ancient portals, and about the secrets hidden in the builder tech. She told them how the Exer had taken that ancient knowledge and turned it into evil. "I was alone," she said. "Then I found someone who didn't run from danger, someone who helped me when I had nothing." She looked toward Nate, "And now I stand here because of him, and because of all of you who chose to fight instead of fear." When she finished, the hall stayed silent for a moment, then applause filled the air. Voices from different worlds shouted in agreement. Some offered fleets, others offered tech, and many simply promised support. Outside the hall, Nate met her with a proud smile. "You were amazing," he said. "I was shaking." She laughed softly. No one saw it. They walked together along the high platform overlooking the stars. The council had voted. New alliance had formed. Humans, former enemies, old allies, and neutral systems now stood together. They would work to find and protect all remaining builder tech, and stop the Exer before they brought more destruction. A few days later, Alina returned to the garden inside Central Command. This time, she wasn't afraid. The air was calm. The flowers were bright, and the sky above looked like her homes before the fire came. Nate joined her there. "We're launching the final mission soon," he said. "Strike against the Exer's main base, the one you helped us find. You'll be there, of course, but not without you." Alina looked at him. "You think we'll win?" Thought for a moment, then said, "If we don't, it won't be because we didn't fight hard enough." She smiled. "Then let's win." The last battle began 1 week later. It was not fast. It was not easy. Exer ships fought with everything they had. Builder tech reawakened, now used by humans and their allies. Old knowledge mixed with new fire. Alyna stayed on the main command ship, guiding teams to activate builder system spread. Across the battlefield, Nate led the assault squad, taking out command nodes and weakening enemy lines. They fought side by side, different, but united. And at the end, when the Exer flagship exploded in a ball of light, silence returned to the stars. The war was over. A few months later, Alina and Nate returned to the forest moon. It was peaceful there. Birds sang. Trees grew. And near the place where she had first arrived, frightened and cold, now stood a new building made of both human steel and builder stone, a symbol of unity. They walked side by side through the trees, remembering how it all started. "Do you ever think about that moment?" Nate asked. "When I stepped through the portal," she smiled. "Yeah, you surprised me. You surprised me too. But I'm glad it was you." They stopped at the top of a hill and looked out at the sky. It was the same stars that had once felt so far away. Now they felt close, warm, safe, and as they stood together, the wind carried a quiet promise of peace, of healing, and of everything they still had to build together.